Hi everyone. I never go live, but here we are because I can't just. Yeah, the comments are already coming in. Let me know if the audio's okay because it's feeding through my iPhone earphones, and I just can't be bothered to plug them in because I'm not listening to anything. But I couldn't just sit and just wallow in self-pity because I'm just heartbroken. I've been tweeting non-stop. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll see that literally every 5 minutes I just want to tweet a paragraph practically saying the same thing. And I thought I'd just jump on here with you guys if you want to say anything. Connor is in. Connor.
Hey, mate.
Now I've got to stick my headphones in. Now I've got something to listen to. Hey up, mate.
How's it going?
Let me sort this little. There we go. Mate, I'm distraught. I've just watched your entire.
Fucking hell, mate. I went at the end, you know. I went.
Yeah, I know, man.
I had to get it off, mate. Like, fucking hell. I just went.
Mate, like, you'll have probably seen. I've just been saying then. I've just been tweeting non-stop. It's just I can't. Yeah. And I was saying to Joe about half an hour ago. I said I'm gonna have to go. I never go live, but I need to just get things off my chest. So. Yeah. I know you've just done over an hour, mate. So, any point you want to dart, it's fine. But I just thought I'd fire you the link if there's anything that needs to be said or you want to have a chat. But the bottom line is it's an absolute disgrace, in my opinion. Now I know that you thought it was the right decision for him to leave.
Yeah.
So we have a sort of contrasting opinion there, which is great if you want to have a debate or a chat, but. I think, did you want it done now or did you want it done in summer?
I did
now.
No, mate. I not at all. I did a video. No. I did a video about 10 days ago, and it was should Marcelo Bielsa, stay at the club? And I actually said, out of any scenario, I want him to stay and adapt. That is what I want. And then we've obviously had, in those 11 days, we've had a really troubling period, I would say, in terms of results, and nothing really changing at all. And I don't know, Lewis. I'm not. I wasn't coming on and saying that I wanted him to go because that's not what I wanted. But the end of the season, a mutual agreement. He leaves and we say goodbye because I think it's breaking down a little bit at the minute. But I guess the question I was asking myself is, do I think we'll get relegated with Marcelo Bielsa and try to take the sentiment out?
That's why I asked, because in your live then you said, do you think we'd have gone down if Marcelo would have stayed? And you said, yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't know whether you wanted him to leave now or between.
Yeah. So I think obviously when I made that video 11 days ago, I was looking for a bit of adaptation, really, especially against the big teams that were playing.
Yeah.
I didn't see that. And just for Leeds United, mate, just for Leeds United and us staying in this division, I do think we'd have gone. We would have gone. I think we're in a horrendous position, mate. You know my thoughts on it. I think we're in a really, really bad position now. But I didn't see anything changing. I think that's my biggest point. But I hate this. I wanted him out and all this sort of stuff, and people want him out. That's not it at all. None of us want him out. None of us want him out. If it adapts and we'd be in a situation in 18 months' time where we're still in the Premier League, I'd be more than happy. But it just seems to be going down and down and down, mate. The players for me are just exhausted. They're absolutely exhausted. So yeah.
Yeah, it's someone said there you need to get a grip, mate. It happens in football. Look, if you're saying that, you don't understand what this man means to so many of us, because I went out last night and I was crying in a club over a 66-year-old man because Seven Nation Army came on and there was a group of 10 lads just belting his name out and you could hear it from a fair bit away, and I just this is what I mean. This is what he's done, because especially for I'm 21, so the majority of my life we've been mediocre, and that's putting it that's putting it nicely. And then he just come in and transformed the club, transformed my life, transformed how I felt about football in general, not just Leeds.
Made
And
your YouTubes famous, mate.
yeah, all of us, because like you just said on yours, none of us would be in this position. Look at Andy McVeigh with the artwork, and
Yeah.
a lot of people in content creation, because it's the passion that he's given people. It's more than Leeds. It's more than football. It's more than
Mm.
him. It's what he's done. So for you to say you need to get a grip, it happens in football. It's not just a manager being sacked.
Nah.
It's your life changing. It is life changing because it's a
Well,
new era completely.
I said it on my stream, mate, and I think a lot of people might not have been there, but I said it's the culture change. It's like you just said,
Yeah,
mate. My entire time supporting Leeds has been miserable in terms of performances and everything off the pitch. We've been stamped on by owners, trotted on by managers, and this guy's just brought everything back. And people don't get it because they're not Leeds. And if you're Leeds and you've been part of this for 20 years like you have, you'll have seen the dark days. And, I
yeah,
was certainly there for the dark days. And for this guy to turn around, mate, there were points where I didn't ever think Leeds were going to get out of the Championship, ever. I didn't think it was going to
yeah.
happen. I just
All my
thought
life.
we're just cursed. And then this guy
Yeah.
comes along and just changes everything,
Mm.
everything. I just wish, like you've said, mate, it didn't end. It didn't have to end like this. It hurts me more that it's ended like this.
Yeah, because I tweeted earlier, and I'd always imagined it ending in a way that he would have left after a good season, not a season where he'd got us into Europe, or just a good,
Yeah,
like last season, essentially. Not a horror show, and not top four, top six. Just a nice season, and he's thinking, right, well, time to pass the baton on now. So I thought he would have left after a good season. I thought he would have been the one to recommend or speak to someone about the job and get someone in. And I
like
thought,
Ferguson-esque sort of thing, like with Moyes.
yeah, and I
Yeah,
thought it would have been he's there first day of the following season, shaking the next man's hand, passed the baton on essentially,
mm,
and he's sort of kept around. And I hate to make this comparison, but you've just said it, but Scum kept Fergie around, and I hope we would have done that with Bielsa, because
mm,
as far as I know, he's staying in Yorkshire anyway. Does he not have a house built or something like that? I don't know how reliable that is, but um, he's happy here. His family's happy here. Everything, and it's just. And I thought we would have kept him around. He'd have come to a few games, watching over, and it's just. I think it's an absolute disgrace, disrespectful the way it's been done, and I have a lot to say about the ulterior motive of why it's been done. And I think it's a lot to do with Rads protecting the 49ers investment,
mm,
and that stinks. I don't think that you can deny, or well, in my opinion anyway, there is a correlation between Aronson and Jesse and the 49ers. This
yeah,
American influence, the fact that Bielsa was being offered and told to look at American players long before, the news came out of the 49ers upping their investment. And it just seems very pre-planned. And that's just my opinion. It could be complete horseshit. Do you know what I mean? There could be no facts there, but it just seems too coincidental not to be
mm,
linked. And
yeah,
I think the 49ers have had the influence and said, hold on, they're in a relegation scrap here, we could be in trouble. And they've had a lot of just that behind the scenes, and it's forced Rad's hand, and the board's just caved in essentially and thought, well, it's a business, money comes first, fuck the fans, fuck Bielsa. The fact that Talk Shite broke it before it was even official
yeah, yeah,
boiled my blood.
yeah. Yeah, no, I've said that. Me and my mates have had a chat about that today. So, I mean, the amount of Leeds, I've never seen Leeds fans retweet TalkSport because they've not seen it. They've not seen any breaking news, but TalkSport release it, and it's official. And I mean, the state was just a bit bizarre, wasn't it? It's like brought the good times back to Elland. It's like, what sort of sentence is that? Like, brought the good times back to Elland, like full stop. I was just a bit like, it just seemed a very frivolous, like pathetic statement, really, and I expected a lot more. I mean, I don't even know if I might have been on stream, mate, and there might have been a nice package put together of him, but no one said anything.
I've not seen anything. I woke up this morning because obviously I was out last night. I woke up about 11:30, 12ish, and I went straight on Twitter, and I knew the official statement were going to be there.
Yeah.
And it was, and then there was sort of 2 paragraphs there, and I thought, this is an hour ago. So you're telling me that you've released a statement which wasn't that cracking, by the way, and then 2 sort of paragraph quotes like saying thank you and all that, and his thoughts, blah blah, and that's it. And that's all we've had all day. And then tomorrow morning, you'd expect Jesse to be announced, and then obviously we get on with the season. Now, if they're going to wait to do sort of all the highlights and the thank you and the interview and all that at the end of the season, I guess that makes sense because the next focus is Leicester. But it just all seemed very just out the door. Thanks, but see you.
So quick, isn't it? So quick. Yeah.
For someone who's done so much and been the team, the club, the commercialization, the fan content, everything was him. It came from him. It was inspired by him. And for it to just be, right, we've played Scum, Spurs and Liverpool. We've been battered by all of them with the spine of the defence out and Bamford out. Cooper out, obviously, as well. Injuries struggled all season. And that's the excuse you're going to use to shove him out the door. I honestly believe they were looking for an excuse. I honestly believe this has been in the pipeline for weeks, if not months, if not since just before Christmas. And again, I think it's a lot of influence from the 49ers and protecting investments and money and things like that.
But the timing is not what I get. The timing is what confuses me, mate. Because, like you said, if they knew it before and as you'll know, I don't stop going on about the January window. But that's what frustrates me more. It's the fact that if they were going to do it in November, do it in December, do it when we've got time, do it when if Jesse Marsch is to come in, bring him in so he can bring his bodies in. With 12 games left, you're solely relying on a spark now because. For me, the players are spent. They look exhausted, I think, which is a problem. And that is all. That's all this guy can really come in and do because there can't be that much of a system change. He's only here for 12 games. So
maybe we might be a bit sharper defensively in terms of,
maybe
man marking. He might recognise that that's not been working. And although his style of play isn't too dissimilar from Bielsa's,
yeah, he doesn't do man marking, does he?
It maybe would be less stubborn.
Yeah.
Anyway, and that's what Bielsa was. You can't deny that. But it's stubborn in a way that his entire coaching career, he's kept the same philosophy. And I think in his mind, if he changes that philosophy, he's already failed.
Yeah.
And I think that's why his stubbornness kicked in and he didn't do it because if he was going to die, he was going to die by his own sword and not by someone else's.
So why do you think he did do it last season then?
Yeah, because this is what I mean. He did do it towards the end, like when we drew 0-0 with Scum and stuff. Yeah. He was able to, and we picked up the most points since from February last season. Yeah. Also,
I think the back end were like second or third in the form table.
Second with 23 or 27. I don't know if below Liverpool. I think Liverpool had 27 and we had 23.
Yeah,
something like that. Or we might have had 27 and then 31, something like that.
Yeah,
but yeah, this is what I mean. I was saying we've seen that he can do it. So I don't know. Obviously, this season the influence of injuries and stuff has played its part. You might argue that had we had a full squad and backup to play with and stuff like that, that the system wouldn't have gone wrong. Because it didn't last season. Not necessarily anyway. Obviously, he did tinker with it, but yeah, man. Like I just like you say, what is he going to come in at? No disrespect to Jesse. I barely know him, I won't lie. I've watched a couple of videos. I've
Yeah, I
watched,
think we're
you
all
know
like
what I
that,
mean?
aren't we?
Do
We're
you know
all
what I
like that.
mean? Like, oh, he's
Everyone will
not
be an
too...
expert tomorrow, Lou.
I know, exactly. He's not too different from how Bielsa plays, and he doesn't do
Including me.
man marking, and here's a tactics video. Oh, he's the next man for the job, or he's a young man.
Yeah.
Right, but you could also say he got sacked at Leipzig after 20 games. It took him to 11th. These are all facts that you can say, and you can argue the toss. But at the end of the day, he's coming in to manage a squad that is very limited in terms of backup. We've still got injuries. We've got players who are injury prone. Even if they're there now, they might not be there in 2 games' time.
Yeah.
We've had 14 different centre-back partnerships this season. And he's going to have to cope with the same problems Bielsa had. Fair enough, he might be a little less stubborn. Fair enough, we won't be doing man-to-man marking, which has been suicidal for the past 2 months. But again, Bielsa wasn't going to change that. And then again, yeah, you could argue that right. Well, if he's not going to change that, you need to get someone in who is.
What are your thoughts playing style then, Lou? Obviously, because the sentiment. I mean, you've just seen me going on an hour and a half on my stream about him. What are your thoughts on? Would you have sort of kept Biel if it had sort of continued and we'd stayed in the Premier League? Let's say, would you have just kept him going into next season as well? You know, you get your injuries back, hopefully bring a couple in, or would you have shook hands and said, "Look, thank you, it's been amazing, but we'll move on."
Look, I wholeheartedly believe it kept us up. I think against Scum and Spurs and Arsenal and City and Chelsea and
Everton and Newcastle.
Yeah, just all right, okay. No, but against your
a bit of joke there,
teams,
joking everyone, but yeah,
against your powerhouse teams and Newcastle and Everton, you're not gonna get, especially when you've got your spiny defense out. You know, Phillips, the squad's built around him, and it has been for 2-3 years. So when you've not got that, I mean, the facts and stats are there to prove that when we've not got Phillips, it don't go well. So it was never going to be an easy ride once he was out for 3 months, and it's not been. 6-0, 4-2 could have been more.
It's bad yesterday.
3-0 Everton, 4-0 Spurs.
Yeah. It was. Yesterday, I think there was just a big switch, wasn't there, as well? I think it seemed yesterday. Yesterday, it was.
I think the man-to-man marking against those teams, when you've got Son and Kane, not a chance. But then when you've got Watford and you've got Southampton and you've got Brentford, and teams like that coming up, which is our next run. It's like the first thing I tweeted when the news broke was, look, when we've now got a run of Villa, Leicester, Southampton, Brentford, Watford, all these teams that you'd argue we could get results against, even with the suicidal way we've been playing, you're now going to sack Bielsa and bring in a manager. Do you honestly believe they're going to be able to adjust to a fairly new system under a new manager across the course of our most crucial remaining games, the next 5 or 6? Write off Chelsea and Arsenal and City. Just write them off. Because I honestly don't believe we'll get results against them. But you're now talking your crucial games: Leicester, Villa, Southampton, Watford, Wolves. Do you think that... Why? They've got to adjust to that on top of all the other pressures. On top of essentially mourning Bielsa as well. It's all I think it's just added to the tornado of shit that's going on. So they've now got to cope with that. Fair enough, they'll be without Murderball, so that might take the edge off a bit. But fucking hell, man, like.
Yeah, it's interesting, mate. And you look at the 6 games that we've got coming up now, and I think they've made a chop based on the next 6, and they're hoping for a manager boost. That's what they're hoping for. Now, Jesse Marsch is one which is really interesting. I mean, if you're to bring in someone who's going to make us solid again, do you bring in a defensive coach? Defensive.
Yeah, but then, Mate, I don't know. I think I said to Matthew Lewis, I was talking to earlier, you know, this video I've got people sending messages in, talking to
Yeah.
him. And I said then, I hate to say this, but even if we stay up under Jesse, I don't think people are going to buy into it as much. And I hate to say that because obviously it should be Leeds before anyone. It should be Leeds before any manager. No, like someone just said in a comment I brought it up, no man's bigger than the club. And I tweeted earlier, I love Leeds more than I love Bielsa. Of course I do, but they've kind of become one and the same thing for me over the past 4 years. You know, I couldn't imagine Leeds without Bielsa, and I can't imagine Bielsa without Leeds.
But you know that was going to
So,
happen. You knew that was going to happen at
of
some
course,
point.
there was always going to be the day, but not like this. This
Yeah.
is not the day that we were expecting to come. We were expecting it to be between seasons. We just come off a decent season or whatever,
Yeah.
and it's all farewells, emotional. There's highlight videos, there's memories, all this, and then you move on, and
Like
then it's a
Pablo.
new era.
Like
Yes,
Pablo.
not
Yeah.
13 games when we're in a relegation scrap ahead of what is our 6 most crucial games to be getting results in. Not now, overnight, after we've just been smashed 4-0 in a horror show at home. So, if Jesse keeps us up, brilliant. You want Leeds to stay in the Premier League. Leeds first and foremost, yes. But I don't think if we go into next season, whether it's under him, whether it's under a more defensive coach, whoever, we're now so in tune with watching us go from one end of pitch, could have scored, and then other end of pitch could have conceded. Just this, it is suicidal, but it were entertaining, wasn't it? It was same in Championship. Like, it wasn't as
Not as risky, was it?
painful, you know, because we were just battering teams week in, week out. But
Yeah.
I can't go. I don't know if I can go. I can go from watching that to watching us play 1-0, defend for the rest of the game. Because
Yeah.
I don't
No.
think people are going to buy
Yeah.
into it as much.
Yeah. No. I get what you mean with the defensive cut. I just meant in terms of why are we sacking him? Are we sacking him? Like, what are their thoughts? Is it because they want defensively to get better? Because that's the problem at the minute, isn't it? It's the fact that we cannot defend and we ship in 20 goals a month or in
He's been
1 month. So I think to myself, what are the board thinking? Because Jesse, what I will say about him is he's a bit of a Bielsa disciple. So
yes, I've
it,
seen him talk
it
about him.
yeah, so
In
in
that,
that respect, he's definitely going to do things a little bit differently. It won't be man marking system. So if he is a similar style, then you'd hope that the transition from Bielsa to Marsch might not be too mental. But like you said, I can completely understand your perspective because you're then turning around and saying, well, yeah, but our greatest advantage was essentially it can be man marking. But our greatest disadvantage can be man marking as well. So against the lesser
yeah,
teams, that's worked for us so far this season. I mean, look at the Burnley game; it worked for us, didn't it? So,
yes,
it's a tough one, mate, isn't it? It's a real tough
it's
one to get
really
your head
tough.
around
I
this.
think
I'd just be so interested to hear what the rationale was for it, like why they've done. That's what I just
mate,
want to know.
he's been turfed out of the door on the back of 3 results, which it don't matter if it's 6-0 or 1-0, we're still losing. And I know that sounds naive because obviously it's a massive dent in the goal difference,
Yeah,
but I don't think goal difference is going to send us down. So the goal difference could be minus 100 by the end of the season, but it's points that matter. Hand on heart, clip this when we go down on 1 goal. But
yeah.
you know, I don't think goal difference is going to be what does it. I don't think that's what's going to be the separation. I think it's
Just
going to be
out
the
of
point.
interest, why Lou? Why do you think that?
Because right now, Burnley have got 3 games in hand on us.
Yeah.
We've got a game in hand on Brentford. Brentford are free falling. Newcastle, I think, and I've thought it, as soon as they appointed Howe, will be fine. They're climbing up the league now. They're what are they above Brentford now?
I think they are. Yeah, I
Or
think
yeah,
Everton,
the 15th.
Everton have got 2 games in hand on us, haven't they?
Yes, I think Norwich. I think Norwich are down.
Yeah, I do.
I think Watford are down.
Mm.
I think Burnley are going to be the ones
Yeah.
to creep. I think I don't think Everton are out of it.
No, I don't.
They played very, very well against City.
Hmm.
Probably should have got a point at least. But having sort of seen Everton's fixtures and Brentford's fixtures especially, and Burnley's and ours, because I think they're going to be the 4 in it. I think Newcastle are fine. I think it's going to be points, and I think us and Everton and Burnley will finish on very similar points. So then you'd sort of turn around and say Brentford. I think Brentford are in absolute freefall. I think they're in big trouble, especially with fixtures they've got coming up.
Yeah, it was a bad one yesterday from, wasn't it?
Yes.
A really bad one.
Yeah. I mean, obviously Newcastle are in good form anyway, so
yeah.
But yeah, I don't see it being on. I mean, our goal difference is it worst in the league? Is it?
Norwich, I think, are just.
Is it?
Norwich are just a bit worse. Yeah.
So
I'm not sure. Everyone in the comments let us know. I'm not sure.
I need to keep up with the comments. I'm doing the same as you. It's like you're so far up because you get talking, don't you? Or you get replying to one, and then you realise you've got about 100 more to scroll down.
See, I think, Lou, the interesting thing is you pulled that comment up there. That is what I can't understand. And listen, I respect your opinion, mate.
It's Adam who stands next to me in COP.
Is it fair play?
Fair
play, mate. Fair play. I can't. If someone can save Leeds and keep Leeds in the Premier League, economically,
Leeds first and foremost.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be in such a better position as a club. You know, if we're to go down, even with Bielsa at the helm, we're still there's going to be so many negatives towards being in the Championship, and there's no guarantee we come straight back up. There's no guarantee we come up within 2 or 3 years, and then what sort of position are the club in? And once again, Lou, being brutally honest, if we went down to the Championship, you're probably still going to see the same bodies being played week in, week out under Bielsa there for me.
Well, that's if they'd have been there. Yeah, or you mean just in general with the squad he has, you're gonna see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a difficult one to say, but taking us down and him being at the helm, you're essentially saying there it's Bielsa United and not Leeds United for me.
Yes, exactly. And look, like me saying the kind of one in the same thing, my mind at times has been Bielsa, whereas you've got to take a step back and just think, no, it's Leeds. Like, what were you doing week in, week out when you were 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14? I was watching as League One Championship get battered 5-0 by Blackpool, Bolton, lose at Sheff Wednesday away 6-0. I was watching Leeds United. I fell in love with a shit Leeds United side. So now that we are back where we belong, now that we've got some sort of, I won't say elite status back, but respectable and entertaining status back, I can't now turn around and go, this one man is bigger than what I've invested essentially my entire life in. It's a good period, and he's given me the best years and the best memories of my life so far. But Leeds United comes first, and if Jesse's going to come in and keep us up, I will have the utmost respect for him. Might not enjoy watching us as much. It's going to take a lot of getting used to it. It's going to take a lot of getting over. But Leeds comes first, and thanks Marcelo for everything. But it's done now.
Look, Lou, how many points? Just finally, how many points do you think? How many points do you think we need to stay up? What, 9?
I think we'll stay on. I think we'll finish on 35, and I have Everton finishing on roughly the same.
All right, so you're looking at what? Is it 12? That's 12 points, isn't it?
Yeah. So you'd be saying Watford.
Yeah.
I think Brentford will beat us. I hate to say it. I've said it all season. I said it as soon as I saw fixture list come out. Brentford last day of the season, and if it come down to that, mate, I couldn't watch.
It's so Leeds to come down to that, though.
Mate, it'd be. I couldn't, because was it not the first season under Bielsa, Brentford away, where we needed to win to be within a chance of finishing top 2?
Beat Neil Maupay, wasn't it?
And Kiko just slipped. Oh God, yeah. Well, it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows under Bielsa. Let's not pretend. Let's not pretend that there was. They did have its moments, but yeah, guys, I'll read some of your comments. Me and Connor have just been chatting away, and there's nearly 400 of you in here. So smash that like button.
I've literally been speaking for 2 hours now.
Mate, I've been tweeting for over 24. I need to just get things off my chest and just, yeah. So, yeah, there's nearly 400 of you in here. Share it around, like the video, subscribe if you're new. Also, I'm doing a tribute farewell video for the man himself, and he's going to see it thanks to Sticks, the lovely Sticks. Says he's going to make sure that gets to him. It'll be translated. So if you want to add your own sort of personal message in there on top of just thank you, Marcelo, then you can do, but please keep it as brief as you can, because you're talking a matter of seconds per piece, and I've already got well over 100 videos sent in, so didn't expect that, but it's going to be a hard editing job.
So whoa, hold on, 100?
more than within the first 2 hours.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow. Don't envy you, mate.
No, yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to cut a lot of people out of it. I'm sorry. I've already said like, whoever's sending videos in, I will make sure that it does get seen in a separate extended piece that I'll probably just put on Twitter and stuff, because I don't want your time and gratitude to go to waste. But yeah, send it to farewellbielsa@gmail.com. It's all on the ticker below, everything you need to know. And yeah, so let's read some of your comments out. I'm sorry we've just been sat here chatting away. Don't think the board come out of this very well at all. No, and look, got a lot of respect for Andrea getting Bielsa in the first place, again, because if that wouldn't have happened, none of what's happened would have happened. But Angus apparently was dead against it, which I'm not surprised at. I'm sure Orr will have been as well. But Andrea has the say, and he's the guy who deals with the investments and the money. And again, you could go around in circles. I do think it's a lot to do with the 49ers and Rad's protecting that investment, and the 49ers trying to protect themselves. And they've, having upped it to what, 44%? Is that what they've got now? They will have had, they will have been in his ear. And, a lot of the American influence with Jesse and with Aronson and the 49ers, I just think it's all linked. And it stinks, to be honest, the way Bielsa has been shown the door, but there you go. Both Burnley and Everton have 2 games in hand on this. Yeah, it's not ideal, but then we've got a game in hand on Brentford, and as I said, they're in free fall.
Game in hand against Villa as well. So.
Yeah, Jesse got sacked formless into RB Leipzig job because he couldn't organise the defence, which is troubling. Moving on. Well, yeah, it is troubling, but the sole reason we've not been able, or the sole 2 reasons we've had troubles with defending, is because we've not had Phillips and Coops. I think Coops, I hate all this League One Liam shit, because first season in the Premier League, he was statistically our best centre-back. And yes, that has a lot to do with the fact that every other centre-back was constantly injured and he played the most, but statistically he was the best centre-back, and he's a leader. And I get that's cliche, but he's been there, 7 years? He knows the club, all that, but he knows the lads. He knows what makes them tick. He's the leader. And you miss that in terms of organisation, in terms of people keeping their heads. So that's gone. Phillips, spine of the team. Team's built around him defensively. Massive loss. And we saw that last season. We saw it the season before. We saw it the season before that the results didn't go the right way when he's not in the squad, because Bielsa built the team around him. So that's an issue. And then man-to-man marking. When you're playing teams, especially scum who just play on the counter. When you Spurs, you've got Kane and Son. Look at how many times Kane just darted through gaps or down the wing the other day. It was
that's what I mean. That's what I mean. Just in terms of just like, that's what I said at the start, in terms of just adapting to the players that we have as well. And I know there'll be a lot of comments back saying, "Listen, we can't do that." But we've shown it before. We've done it before. But what I will say is, when we've done it before, Phillips and Bamford have been available. So that is a big thing. I think Bamford's been the biggest miss of the season, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, what's his record? He's played 6, scored 2, assisted 2.
I think he's played 5. I think he's came on, hasn't he? But he started.
Comes on, scores last minute, slides and puts himself out.
Also, mate, what I will say about Jesse as well is someone mentioned it in your comments as well about he had a few problems when he first came in terms of his two centre-backs. I believe, could be wrong, but before he came in, obviously Nagelsmann went to Bayern Munich, but they did sell Upamecano and Canate before he came in. So I think he had a few troubles there.
Well, it's not like he's coming into any troubles here, so he'll be fine.
Yeah, he'll be
He
sound.
just jumps from one sinking ship to another. I punched my wall and burst into tears. Yeah, we all did, whether that was physically or mentally. We all
that seems like a real aggression into just like I don't even know what that is. Like you're upset.
Notification came up and he's just
just his wall. Fair play, mate.
No one could have rebuilt the club like Marcelo. He got to the Premiership with this Championship squad and improved all the players. Yeah, you can't forget that either. It is very much still a Championship squad. I don't know if you can get away with saying that because obviously they are established, 2 seasons now, Premier League players. But in terms of quality, you come to me 4 years ago and tell me that Luke Ayling and Stuart Dallas and Adam Forshaw and players like that are Premier League quality. Yeah, Phillips. Yeah, God, yeah. You forget that Phillips was bad. I'm sorry, but you forget that Phillips was bad. He had a bit of weight. He had a dead trim. He couldn't get. It was sort of at one point. It was him, Byram, Cook. These youthful players coming through, and he was out of all of them, I'd say, the least bigged up. And now he's the only one left.
I think he was struggling to get in above Yunan O'Kane, wasn't he?
Forgot he
the legend. That's how bad it was, everybody. Yunan O'Kane.
Exactly. There you go. But yeah, no one. Well, you can't say no one, I suppose, because you'll never know. But at that time, with that squad, you're not. I think it's fair to say you're not going to see it again with any other club for a very long time, or at all. Do you know what I mean? It was a miracle in many senses of the word, and it'll never be forgotten. And it's again that's what makes it so hard letting him go. And I haven't let him go. I won't let him go.
This helps. I do think this helps, though. I really do like talking it through. I do. It sounds grief, isn't it?
Instead of just, mate, it is though. It's like you'll if there's opposition fans in this live stream now, you'll be sat there pissing yourself, thinking you're rambling on about a 66-year-old man. Just move on. You've got a new manager. It's football. It happens. Jesus Christ. But what it means to us is tenfold of what you can understand. I've got super chats in here somewhere.
Charlie's a legend. You got to read that out. He's a good lad.
I've seen sort of little bits of money coming in it, and I feel really bad, but I can't get down in time. I'm sorry. I'm bad at this live stream stuff.
Just a massive YouTuber, mate. That's
what it is. Mate, I'm not as big as you. Your engagement to mine is second to none. This is why I'm sat there like I need to do more of this. I need to do more of this live stream or like set camera up and sit down and talk. But I'm shit at it, man.
You're good. You've gone 38 minutes so far.
No, but in terms of like, I can't just. So you can just. We're going off on a tangent. Me and Connor are having a chat. You go and make yourself a cuppa.
Yeah, we've not caught up in a while.
No, but we aren't. Hi Connor, how you doing, man? No, but like you can just sit in your car, set the camera up, and just go. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I have to sort of like jot points down. I have to know. I have to have an order. I have to have an itinerary. I can't just like.
Sounds better, mate. It sounds like you've actually got a plan there. That's fine. Yeah,
I know, but
better in the future.
And honestly, it sounds really bad. And I've been slacking with content last couple. I know I have. It's been. I've not uploaded like for times in weeks. In lockdown, I was doing documentaries, promos, all this. Obviously, the mood of the club's been down, so you can't get away with as much game shows and stuff. You're not going to have a chance of getting away with posting stuff like that with the mood around. So it has been hard, but. Yeah, I've been slacking, man. I need to start doing more stuff like this. Just sit down and give, because all my opinions go on Twitter. Like, that's what I mean. There's 11k followers on there for a reason, because if anyone wants an opinion off me, that's where it goes, not here.
Mate,
Um,
I've got rid of it today. As in, just deleted the app. I was like, I'm just gonna have time off it. I'm having a week off it. I'm having a week off it. Can't be bothered.
Oh
Yeah.
man, I wish it's not nice on there sometimes.
No.
Crying over football, you prick. Try living in Ukraine. What a dick. Well, you know, problems happen across the world all the time, and
Yeah.
however bad they are, it doesn't mean that you can't talk about smaller problems.
Of course, yeah.
Um,
Shout out to everyone in
yeah,
Ukraine, by the way.
obviously, absolutely heartbreaking what's going on
Yeah.
over there.
Yeah.
I hope it's resolved and I hope it doesn't escalate.
Hmm.
But that's not what this live stream is about, and we're not going to make it about that. That's all that needs to be said. You know, pray for Ukraine, and we'll move on from that. He meant so much to us all, still does, mate, and never won't, never won't. All well and good saying it happens in football, but they won't know how much Bielsa's done for us. Yeah, exactly. And only if you'll only get it if you're Leeds. And well, I say that, you know, some people probably get it who aren't,
Yeah.
but most, especially your spoiled, like City and stuff like who've just been handed everything, will never get it because they're never going to have that journey now. Never. Like your Man City fans, even Scum fans, Spurs, maybe they've got a bit of unfinished business in terms of elite achievements. I mean, they made a Champions League final, but they had a journey.
Lou, do you know what I want, mate? And I will say this: what I want is I don't want people to start not giving this guy a chance. He needs a chance. He's coming in to try and save Leeds.
No,
I just said
yeah,
this. I understand there's a lot of vitriolic hate towards what's going on at the minute. I get that, and everybody will carry on singing Marcelo Bielsa. I 100% know that, but there can't be a sort of turning your back moment here. We need everybody in this fight. And this guy he's been no part of it. He's coming in to just try and help us. That is it. He's
no.
been no part of the decision with Bielsa. He clearly researches and loves Bielsa as well. So, like I was saying earlier, he seems like a little bit of a disciple, like we all are now. But I think we've all got to get behind him, mate. I know it sounds really cliche, but for 12 games, these really are significant in Leeds United's near future.
That's what I mean. Like, I tweeted drunkenly, I'm satire.
It's a bad idea. Bad idea.
I was like, who is Jesse? Nobody. Fuck this guy. Fuck every manager who's not Bielsa. End of. But it was satire, and I was drunk, and I was grieving, and I was upset. And obviously, when you put that on an app like Twitter, it should never be done because people don't understand satire, and it's like, give him a chance. He's coming in to save us. Back him. It's done now. No. Yes, I know that. I'm not going to be there. Villa at home. How dare you stand there? I'll be like, welcome. Crack on now. We've got a job to do. We need to stay here. And if he's the man to do that, thank you.
100%.
But we've got to have that time to just
mourn.
Like, yeah, all them tweets as well. He's not dead. Fuck's sake. It's like, he is.
Yeah, he is. Hey, listen, mate. He'll never be the Leeds manager ever again. So yeah, there you go.
Thank you, Bielsa. Not even a video to sum his time up. Yeah, I'm sure it'll come. You know, I'm sure it'll come.
Better do.
I think.
Hope so.
I'm doing one, so subscribe, everybody. But like, I think everyone in and around the club's probably just been told or thinks that now is focus on Leicester and then Villa and then the game after that and the game after that. I think they very much just wanted to say, gracias, Marcelo, thank you. Welcome, Jesse. Leicester, Villa. Stay up. Then all that time between seasons will be the time for all that. Thank you.
There is a lot of opposition fans in your comment section, isn't there?
I've seen
Millwall, I've seen Man
United. Yeah, I'm having to skip over comments. I would have shown the Millwall comments, and then I would have shown the abuse to that Millwall fan afterwards. But I am skipping as much because I'm so bad at this, man. I'm so bad at this. Skipping so many comments. I'm so sorry. No, oh, okay. I saw Barry Douglas and I was intrigued. No disrespect to Barry Douglas, but when he left, he got a massive send off from Auto Rads, etc. How dare we not give? Th- Those were in high spirited times between. Was it not between seasons, or was it
Yeah,
mid?
yeah,
Yeah, between
yeah. That's right.
seasons, and he was the champ, and everyone was in a good mood, and we'd not long since won the league, and it was like, well, you're going to get away with that. Whereas now, again, I keep saying, I think the focus is on the next game and Jesse coming in rather than dwelling on Bielsa from the official club's point of view and the content output and everything like that.
Yeah, yeah,
They haven't got that time to dwell on Bielsa because the next man's coming in and we've got games to play. We have the time to dwell, and we are doing because
yeah,
we have got no other worries. When he's announced tomorrow morning, we're still going to be dwelling on Bielsa. It's not going to be, unfortunately for Jesse, it's not going to be, I welcome Jesse, I'm buzzing. It's not going to be like that. It's not, right? It's going to
yeah.
be, "Oh, okay, we knew anyway, but hi,
I just hope
crack
there's not a
on."
shelling of abuse if when he gets the job
No,
and it's
because
announced
he
on
doesn't
social media.
deserve that. Like,
No,
maybe
doesn't.
there'll be a few satire comments and there'll be, unfortunately, a few you yank and all that because I've seen it. And it's out of order because
Yeah, it is.
if that's the
It is.
first thing he sees from his new fans, he's got Twitter as well, which is even worse.
I know. I
He's
saw
on
that.
Twitter, so he's gonna see stuff like this. And then
Yeah,
if he starts to get his results, the opinion will change, and that's fickle as fuck. Like my opinion is, I have no opinion. It's not he's shit, get him out. It's let's just see what happens. But I am dwelling on Bielsa to say get this yank out of our club and all that bollocks that I'm seeing. Nip it in bud because he's going
yeah,
to see that. Like the players see all the shit that gets said to them as well. And
yeah,
Andrea, as much as I have my own opinions about him and certain decisions and tweets he's made, would never at him and say anything the same way you lot shouldn't be. And I've seen it and it's out of order. But that's Twitter for you. It's an absolute minefield of wankers, which I am a part of. It's all about Premiership money. Bielsa would have kept us up just. I agree. But Premiership money is essential for us staying where we are. Unfortunately, that's modern football, and business decisions need to be made. However harsh, but it's still annoying and it still stinks. But that's just modern football. I think I'm getting towards. No, do you know what? You lot can't see what goes on here, right? But it makes it look like you're getting to the bottom, and then a whole new page spawns, and you're like, I also
mate.
don't want to.
I'm gonna have to bounce soon. I'm
Yeah,
starving.
mate, you bounce whenever you want. At least it takes the pressure off of having
Yeah, I
to.
was gonna say I've eased you in. I've eased you
You've
in.
eased me in.
Mate, what I'll do is I'll
Right.
send you this. I'll send you the 10-minute clip, and everybody send Lewis 10-minute clips. It'll be about 900 clips.
Yeah, an absolute file full of just hours and hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, mate. I'm gonna bounce, but everybody,
Okay,
thanks
mate.
for tuning in, and yeah, Lou, all the best, mate.
See you in a bit, mate. Bye bye. Just me, guys. Right, I can actually read some of your comments out now. I am so sorry. I know I've got donations and stuff as well. I'm so bad at this live streaming stuff. I'm just sitting down and talking to a camera. You wouldn't believe it, would you? Because I've done it a lot, but it's mostly scripted. When I sit down and talk to a camera, I've usually got like points to talk about. Whereas this is just kind of rambling on. Still about 400 of you in here. Smash the like button if you haven't already. Get your comments in. I'm going to read them all out now. Obviously, I'm trying to balance the attention between the comments and Connor. So obviously, I'm a bit behind on the comments, but I'm carrying. What's the phrase? Catching up now. They should all be sacked. It's a piss take that our club is where we are. I don't know if you mean in terms of how low we are on the table. You mean they should all be sacked for? I don't know if you mean. I'm going to skip that comment. Do you mean the players should be sacked or the board should be sacked? It's a piss take where we are because we've had injuries and other problems. But yeah, cool. Keep him. Well, now I think we know Rads is selling us to the 49ers for sure. We saw this coming even before all the other news broke. We saw this coming. Donation from Matt Games. Gutted, but it will be a disgrace if he takes the captain's armband off Cooper. I'm sure the players will have their say. I'm sure that Jesse will be made aware of people's roles, and like when you see the Spurs documentary, when Mourinho came into Spurs, he was made aware of who was the laziest, who was the leader, who's the one to get people most fired up, who's the one that needs consoling. All this will be made aware to him. Maybe not by the players directly, maybe by people around the dressing room. What manager do you want next? Get Pochettino in, man. Like, nah. Carlos would be a good fit, but again, that's still essentially Bielsa ball. He's taken Huddersfield from the foot of the Championship to third. So full credit to him. He's done an amazing job. I think they're unbeaten in about 14, 15 games. So something stupid like that. So if we wanted to play the same way, that would be make the most sense, given it was alongside Bielsa. But I've seen people saying Nuno. I won't be a fan of that. Obviously, you've got Jesse coming in. I genuinely couldn't answer that question. I could literally say to Carlos, but you're going to need someone who has not a completely different style of football to what we've been playing for the past 4 years, and apparently that's Jesse, so we'll have to see. I don't know enough. I've watched a couple tactics videos. I've been told that he doesn't play too dissimilar from Bielsa. I've been told that we don't do man-to-man marking with Jesse. This is all I know. So, I don't know, is the answer to that question. Carlos would have been the perfect fit if we wanted to carry on the way we were playing. But obviously, we don't want to carry on the way we've been playing. And that's why Bielsa's lost his job, amongst other reasons. Hello from Seattle. I don't know Bielsa well, but Marsch is a talented guy. Seems to get the best out of his players. I hope so, mate, because it didn't seem to go very well for him at Leipzig. So I'm told, and so I see. Do you think... Oh, this is such a tough question, man. Do you think Bielsa will become a manager at another team? I was speaking to Joe earlier, and I was speaking to Matt Lewis earlier, and I said the hardest thing would be to see him go to another team, especially if it's an English one. Like if he went somewhere like Middlesbrough, because I'm sure there'll be plenty of Championship teams wanting to snap him up. I doubt there'll be many Premier League ones, purely based on the fact that, as Matt actually said to me earlier, they're not bothered about the way we play football and the entertainment side of it. They're bothered about results. And I think with the decision that's just been made and the way we've been playing this season, Premier League clubs will be put off. But on the flip side of that, you know, a big club could easily come in for him. It's happened before. But I think there'll be plenty of Championship clubs trying to get in there. And if he went somewhere like Middlesbrough or somewhere, just anywhere, any English club, if I have to see him at any other English club, it will pain me immensely. I genuinely hope he just retires. And that's from a selfish point of view, and from a point of view that's like, no, he's ours. No one else deserves him. That's it. But good question, but tough to answer. And it's pained me to answer that because it's crossed my mind, pal. It's crossed my mind. Leicester, Villa, Norwich, Wolves, Southampton, Watford. Yeah, crucial. And to be changing manager before that run, very risky decision. Very risky. We have to get behind the team and the manager. Yeah, we do. We do, but we also need this time. It's like taking a British soldier and asking him to march like a Russian. Bit of an inappropriate comment, considering, but even more nerve-wracking. I'm so upset right now. We all are, pal. And I am very nervous because if this goes wrong, it's going to be tenfold in terms of hate and backlash. It's going to be toxic as fuck on every platform. You'll see it on YouTube. You'll see it in the content. You'll see it in Joe's content, Connor's content, my content. You'll see the mood just... Twitter will be an absolute minefield if this goes wrong. So I tweeted yesterday, I hope Andrea's taken into account his own legacy in all this, because if this decision doesn't go the way it needs to, we're in trouble. Everyone's in trouble. Same thing happened with Sheffield United. They got Heckingbottom. When he came in after the transfer window, he had no time to improve the squad. Jesse has to use the players that are already here. Yep, spot on, mate. But you'd hope that Jesse will use them in a more sensible way. Again, Bielsa was always going to stick to his philosophy, and that has cost us, unfortunately. You would hope Jesse is a bit more grounded. Won't be doing man-to-man marking under him, so that'll take the edge off in the defence. Obviously, got Phillips coming back and Cooper coming back, so we should be a lot more assured at the back. And then it's just us being clinical, which has been a massive problem recently as well. We could have scored 4-5 against Scum. We could have scored 2 or 3 against Spurs. Could have scored 3 against Liverpool. We might not change the full-time score, but when you've got Everton hit the crossbar twice, these are chances that when you watch them back, you're thinking, fuck me, like, could have had such a different game. Bielsa is God. Man marking system killed us. Yep. Hope not. Hope not. Brentford are awful at the moment. Yep, they're in free fall. And with us having a game in hand on them, it only adds more pressure. Nice to be them that has the pressure on them for once, rather than them being up our arse. Nice change. Bear with me, guys. I'm just scrolling through comments. There is quite a lot to get through. I'll get as many in as I can, and then I will wrap up. I've got all your videos flying in. I can see the emails coming through for the Bielsa tribute video, which he will see. If you didn't know, send a video saying thank you, Marcelo, and a few more words if you want, but keep it brief, to farewellbielsa@gmail.com. Do that as soon as you can, please. You've probably got about 50 minutes left before I'm gonna wrap this up soon, and then crack on with that. Yeah, and he will see that. The lovely Sticks is going to make sure that video gets to him, and it's just going to be sort of a tribute in terms of the best moments and best memories, along with your messages to him. So get them in as soon as you can to that email. Landscape mounted if you can. Just a few seconds. Just say thanks, and yeah. 12 points from the next 4 games. I doubt it, but nice to have a bit of confidence, whether it's sarcastic or not. Connor's supposed to be drinking wine. He's drinking it now. He's gone. How am I? Absolutely distraught. Yeah. Yeah. Words can't describe. Will it be on YouTube? Yeah, it will be, yeah. It will be uploaded to YouTube and other platforms as well. Yeah. Fuck the board. 49ers out. Apologies as an American Leeds supporter. What are you apologising for? I was sorry for my country. Your country's fine. I was just making connections between the American influences coming in. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. I wasn't saying it was a bad thing. I was just joining the dots. The fact that we're looking at American players, the fact that we've got an American manager, the fact that you're going to have American owners. I was just joining the dots. It seems to be a new era, and it seems to be very Americanized. But I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just, making connections. There might be no connections there. It might be complete coincidence, but it doesn't seem like it. It seems very just pre-planned. Mark Hughes, Bradford Army. Fuck off, Aiden. Oh god. Super chat. Lewis video, the best thing to come of this day. Thanks for giving us somewhere to get together, Lewis and Connor. Yeah. I just wanted everyone to have the platform to say goodbye. And you know, it's going to be even better that he's going to see it as well, thanks to Sticks. We've just passed an hour. You know, I might keep going for another sort of 10, 20 minutes. I'm going to try and get to live comments. So I might have to skip quite a substantial amount of these comments, guys. I am sorry. Me and Connor just got chatting away and I've just missed so many. I'll bring up any that catch my eye, but I'm just sort of scrolling past now. I do apologise. Marsch managed an MLS team for less than half of a season and got Manager of the Year award. He's a very exciting manager. Didn't know that. That's what I mean. I don't know much. I've not really looked into it. I've just been sort of dwelling on Bielsa. I've watched a couple of tactics videos, as I say, and people sort of saying that he's not too dissimilar in the way he plays. And he's a good young manager. But we'll see. We will see. It's all well and good, all this being said. But we just have to see. Oh, he's got a hard job regardless anyway, of course. Been supporting Leeds for 52 years, and Marcelo was the best manager we have had since Don Revit. Thank you, Marcelo, for everything you have done for our team. Yeah, I've had a lot of people in my grandma's generation tell me that it's the best thing to happen since Bielsa, since Revit, and that's it's quite mad to hear because you sort of realise that we've just lived through a period that won't be replicated probably ever again. We've just lived through history. We'll be looking back on this in 20, 30, 40, 50 years and thinking, oh, fucking hell, it was good, wasn't it? Like, with that, Bielsa is our Revy. Obviously not as successful in terms of elite achievements. Like, you know, he won Division 1 twice. He won the Fairs Cup. He won the FA Cup, the League Cup. And we just won the championship and a FIFA Fair Play award, but it's the premise and everything surrounding the club and how feel good it was and the football we watched. It's history, man, and we've just lived through it, and it's over, and it's heartbreaking. Hopefully, no Robert substitutions now. Well, like I say, Bielsa was very much die by his own sword and not changing his philosophy, and he kept bringing Roberts on because he clearly thought that he'd come good and he believed in him. Now he might not get any game time at all. Maybe Jesse believes in him as well, and maybe he keeps coming on. We'll have to see. Personally, not a fan of that substitution, and I personally don't think Roberts is good enough. I said this before. The same, I didn't think Costa were good enough, but that's just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and that's what I'm trying to get through all of your hundreds of opinions right now. Bielsa hasn't seen his. This is not true, but a funny comment nonetheless. Hi, Lewis. Love the content, even though I'm a Scum fan. Cheers, pal. MOT Lewis, hope you're well, mate. I'm not, mate. I'm distraught, and yeah, I could use many other words. I'm coping, kind of. The fact I've tweeted every like 5 minutes and then I'm just sat here, it's like a counselling session. This one big counselling session. This is what this is. I just needed somewhere to get stuff off my chest. It's all about money. Did you see Calvin's post? Yeah, I did. Like every other player's post, but his most of all upsetting. Sticks Lockwood, who I was talking to earlier. I doubt he'll mind me saying this, and I'm sure it comes as no surprise, but they had all their heartfelt, tearful, to quote him, tearful goodbyes this morning. So that'll have been between players and staff and Marcelo, I would imagine. Shit, man. Hylo's just joined, been gutted all day. Yeah. Been gutted 2 days straight. I hold this today. I've got my GCSE mocks tomorrow. Good luck, Sam. Good luck with your GCSE mocks. You just brought back a lot of PTSD for me. Guys, I'm on live comments. Get your comments in now, but just don't spam. Well, yeah, I'm live, so I can bring them up as you're sending them now. I apologise. How do you know Bielsa will see the video? Sticks, again, lovely sticks. He's going to make sure that it gets sent to him, and he will see it. So any messages that you send in, if they make the cut, he will see it. But as I say, I've got well over 100 videos being sent in, so it's going to be a hard editing job when I'm dealing with a matter of seconds. So that's why I've said keep it as brief as thank you, Marcelo, thank you, Marcelo, thank you, Marcelo. Feeling like I'm going to cry for 5 minutes at the moment. Yeah, man, I was crying. I cried last night in a club, pissed, when I heard Seven Nation Army come on over a 66-year-old man. That's what it's done. That's what it's done. Can I send it on Insta? I prefer email, pal, just so I've got it all in one place, if that's possible. It's like a eulogy. It feels like we've lost a dear member of our family. We have lost a member of our family. The Leeds family, we've lost the biggest member of it. To put it like that. Disgraceful from the board. If we stay up, he 100% needs to be backed in the summer. Well, you'd assume so if the 49ers take over, which has been rumoured, then you'd expect to happen. Hylo's favourite game under Bielsa. Oh, so many memories, mate. Roof 3-2, Villa away. Pablo 3-2, Millwall at home. When I was like, Bristol are winning, please just fucking win this, please. Obviously, Swansea away. Pablo scoring that goal. Derby in the playoffs, even though it ended horrifically. West Ham this season, great game. Man City away last season. There's so many moments, mate. So many. You'd have to say Man City, I suppose, because that was just a miracle. That was just who does that? Bet Man City away. You know, just if fans were there, like same with Pablo against Swansea, it'd have been tenfold. But yeah, you've got to say amongst them. And if I've forgotten any, it's because there's that many. How long will the video be, and when can we expect it out, etc.? Probably about 3 minutes, and you can probably expect it before the Leicester game. I'll try. Appreciate your content, mate. Reliving the games I've been at this season today was an important stage in the grieving. Yeah, again, it's going to sound silly to opposition fans who don't get it, but we are mourning, we are grieving. It is the end of an era. It's the death of an era. And we're never going to say anything like it again. It's done. This day we're going to come, but we didn't want it to come like this. In the past, we had icons and characters. Ali and Elvis, etc. Sports when they were authentic and original. Bristow and Higgins, etc. Marcelo was a throwback, and we pulled the trigger too early. Yeah, well put, man. Yeah, it's an interesting perspective. Like, you've got icons in different fields, and Marcelo is certainly one of the best in his own right in this field. El Loco made my life less shit than it was. Watching Joe video, I was blubbering. Yeah, if you've not seen Joe's live stream earlier, go and have a look at that. Go watch that back. I think sort of halfway through is reading a Newell's official statement that was talking about the club's always being bonded through Marcelo, and that Leeds fans were always welcome to the Marcelo Bielsa Stadium. And Joe just choked up reading it out. And I've got to say, when the news was sort of broke last night, I was sort of looking around. I've got canvases on my wall, and up and around me as well. And I was sort of looking around, thinking, and I choked up, talking to myself, thinking, it's over. Like this has been the last 4 years of my life, and now it sort of feels like your world's sort of been turned upside down. In a footballing sense, anyway. And football is predominantly like 80% of my life, so I work in it. It's hobby, it's entertainment. Like, yeah. Rodrigo and Joffe up top, which I like a lot, and James and Rafinha behind. I don't mind that at all. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how we do so, even formations wise as well, because obviously Bielsa was renowned for sort of flipping between two formations when we had a full squad available. Thank you for everything, Marcelo. You'll always be welcome back to Ellen Road. Gracias, Marcelo. Yeah, we hope to see him back sort of a couple of times. I hope it's not just sort of out the door and we never see him again. I hope he visits, and it'd be nice to see him at the Villa game, before the Villa game. I doubt it, but it'd be nice if he comes out and sort of does say goodbye and does get that. We do get that closure. Yeah. What's your email, Lewis? The email is on the ticker there that's going across the bottom. Everything you need to know about sending videos in and sort of liking and subscribing and donating and all that. Everything's there. Everything's there. Absolutely gutted. Feels like we're going through a breakup. Yeah, mate. This is more painful than a breakup I had in January. I split up with my ex in January, and I am more upset about this. I can happily say that right now. Straight up. Yeah. Someone said on Twitter last night, because I literally tweeted about it, feeling like the world's been turned upside down. Someone said, like, you typical Twitter comment, get a bird, mate. I'm like, yeah, I split with her in January, and I'm way more upset about this. I swear to God. It's like, it's knocked me, because it's just how sudden and out the door it's been. It's like, where's the respect, man? Fucking hell. Joe's video had me going, yeah, man. Yeah. But shows he's human, do you know what I mean? Like, all of us that do this thing, content and come on over, whether it's on podcasts or live streams, videos, whatever it is, when you've got people talking, you will see emotions shown. We're real people with real emotions, and sometimes, especially if it's live, you're going to see that come across. We don't have no control over it when it's live. Yeah. Trying to go over it, but I can't. Yeah, it's going to take time for us all, pal. It's going to take time for us all, but like Connor said, you've got to back the new man and the new era now. It's a very quick turnaround. We've got Leicester this weekend. Jesse will probably be appointed tomorrow morning, officially announced anyway. So yeah. Man City with 10 men on their own turf. So you'd have to say that, or Pablo against Swansea for me. Got to be between them two. Yeah, Man City away 10 men. Birmingham, yeah, away 5-4. Yeah, that were a good one. I wasn't there, but it was a bonkers game. That 24 seconds against Scum, yeah, best minute of my life. This is what I mean. He's given me the best years and memories of my life so far. More review videos coming in, guys. Keep them coming in. They're all coming through in the email. Appreciate that, mate. I'm not bringing that comment up. But good comment. It's a sad end to what's been a fantastic era. Yep. Gracias, Marcelo. What are your opinions on the Bielsa sacking? You'll have to watch this entire live stream back when it's a video, pal, and then you will know. Oh, and get to bed, man. Shut up, Dino, you little Watford fan. What an insult that is. Yeah, you support Watford. That's insult enough. You're going down. Shut up, man. Clip this when we come down with you. No, we're staying up. I actually do think we'll stay up. I thought we'd have stayed up under Bielsa, and I think we'll stay up under Jesse. I just think purely on the basis that there's 3 teams worse than us that will stay up. You think we'll go down? Never managed the Premier League, and he's got 12 games for 4 wins. It's going to be tight. I'll say that. I don't think we're going to stay up with flying colours. Millwall 3-2, yeah. Yeah. Twice, to be fair. Twice Millwall 3-2. Fuck off. um, Heartbreaking to see, but the board must have seen we are struggling and have panicked. We may not be happy, but the team and the new manager needs us. 12 cup finals to go. Yeah, well said, Paul. Well said. That Villa game that we let them score. FIFA Fair Play Award. FIFA Fair Play Award. Stoke 5-0. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's up there with my sort of prominent memories, because you can say sort of Charlton 4-0 as well. It was sort of just a way to assert the dominance, those type of games, to show how good we really were. Please don't let it come down to the away game versus Brentford, please. Yeah, I know I said this to Connor earlier. I don't know if you were here. If it comes down to that, I'd shit myself. I wouldn't trust us at all. I wouldn't trust us under Bielsa in that game. I wouldn't trust us under anyone. Such a Leeds thing to come down to Brentford, away last game of the season, for us to stay up and watch it be between us and Brentford as well. Yeah, shit. Pablo at Swansea. When I heard the news about Bielsa, I had to tell the missus I was peeling an onion. Just let your emotions go, pal. Let your emotions go. Yeah. 5 more minutes, guys. I'm going to come off at 1 hour and 20. When we hit 1 hour and 20. Hopefully we are going up the town. I think you will. I think it'll be you and Sheffield United in the playoff final. I think you'll come up. You're unbeaten in 15? Under Carlos, he's taken you from 17th to 3rd. Brilliant achievement. And honestly, if we stay up, which I think we will, I would welcome you or Sheffield United up, to be fair. I don't want Middlesbrough up, but you or Sheffield United, because I think we need that Yorkshire derby, and the Premier League does need those two sort of. It does need a Yorkshire presence. There is obviously us, but I'd like a Yorkshire derby. I liked it when we had Sheffield United in the Prem, and I'd like it if we had you there. I don't think you belong there in terms of status, but that's just my opinion. Like, I don't think Watford and Burnley belong there on a club status, but obviously you're all earning the right to be there in a playing sense. So that's just I'm talking in terms of club size. Like, I think Forest belong in the Prem, and Villa and Newcastle and Leeds, and yeah. But we won't get into that. But yeah, I think you're in with a very good chance, very, very good chance. And I think Carlos has done an unbelievable job with you, like Bielsa did with us. You could say, playing the same football. Phillips will 100% go. He stayed because of Bielsa. Nah, man, don't agree with that. He stayed because he's Leeds through and through. And if we do go down, yes, he will go, because he's better than the Championship, and I wouldn't blame him for going, just as long as he don't go to them red bastards over the Pennines, which I don't think he would. March on together. Huddersfield unbeaten in 22. 22. Really? Fuck, man. I think that's probably better than Bielsa did with us, right? Yeah, we were never unbeaten. What? Yeah, fair fucks, Carlos, man. Wow, if that's true. I know it's at least 15, because my mate George is a Town fan, and he's also gassed right now. Good time for them. Hate Frank and Brentford, such cocky managers. Hope they go down. I doubt Everton and Brentford will go down, but it would certainly be funny to see the two Franks dropping. Hi from Ireland, Lewis. Tough last few days. Been a subscriber for a while. Keep up the content. Keep the content coming. Sorry. Thanks, mate. Thank you. Appreciate that. Big up Ireland. I know we've got a big following over there. This is worse than any breakup, and neither parties want this. We just have no say. Yeah, man. In the league, they're unbeaten in 17. Right, okay. Yeah, that's better than Bielsa ever did with us. I think the most we were ever unbeaten was like 7 under Bielsa in the Championship. Inevitable that Rafinha will go in the summer either way. He has apparently put contract talks on hold, but that will, we'll have to wait and see. I think he's better than us, Rafinha, but I also think he goes missing in games, and I think his attitude can be poor at times. I'm not going to make the Saiz comparison because obviously he's a lot better than Saiz ability-wise, but Saiz had the same problems in terms of the talent was there, but his attitude and his consistency went missing. But yeah, it's undoubtable that Rafinha is better than our level right now and deserves to be playing with one of the top clubs probably. I think he's better than players that are at top clubs now as well. So I will say this though, I think we easily, if we stay up, I think we easily get 80 million for him. And I mean that. I mean that. We need a Bielsa interview. I can't see it coming anytime soon. I think it's too raw, and I think they've got to give Jesse time. It's very rushed and sort of out the door, in the door. Focus on games. I think all the sort of weeping and all the content and everything's going to come at the end of the season. If we stay up, then Phillips says, so these games are huge, as he says he will sign a new contract as long as we stay up. Yeah, I don't know how reliable that quote actually is. But even if it is true, then you couldn't blame him for that. I love Bielsa as much as I love my family. Yeah, man. It's sad. Videos still coming through, guys. Keep them coming through. We've got 25 minutes to say thank you, Marcelo. Landscape video, mount your phone. Thank you, Marcelo. Get it done. Get it sent to farewellbielsa@gmail.com. Everything you need to know is on the ticker below. Yeah. And I think I'm going to wrap it up there, guys. I've been going for an hour and 20 minutes now. So all that's left to say is thank you, Marcelo, for the best years and memories of my life. He won't see this because, as Connor said, I don't deserve to be in front of him. But that's all that needs to be said. And thank you, everyone, for joining and getting your comments in, your thoughts, your feelings. We all feel the same. It's heartbreaking. It's disgraceful the way it's been done. I think stuff's happened behind the scenes, and whether we find out about it or not remains to be seen. But as of right now, Bielsa is no longer the Leeds United manager. 3.5 years of my life, best years of my life, come to an end. All of our lives, especially my generation. Yeah, sad. But now there's a new era, and we've got 12 cup finals to play under him, and we need to back him. We need to back his philosophy, and we need to keep Leeds United in the Premier League. Thank you, Marcelo. Thanks, everyone. Goodbye.